coach, Coach Chris Biddle at Wynn High School. And to my left, entering his third year as our head boys basketball coach at Eagle Pass High School, Coach David Chisholm. Both of them do a tremendous job, and we wish them the best of luck this season, and they certainly run a great program.
And we want to welcome them to the show. Coach Chisholm, we're going to have you come in here, and while you do that, I'll turn to this side and talk to Coach Biddle from CC Wynn High School. Coach, day one, it gets real today for your basketball program. Talk to us a little bit about what it's like being at the head of this program, leading it, what your team looks like coming into the season, and what you're looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to get out there and competing.
Go ahead. You're good, Coach.
All right. Just looking forward to get out and competing. We've been out there competing against ourselves here for quite a while, and nice to get some other bodies out there to compete against. We've got a older group this year, so we should have 7 or 8 seniors there out there all competing for some playing time, and then just looking to have a lot better results than we did last year.
Talk to us a little bit about your veteran leadership. What do you have coming back? What does your squad look like going into the season?
Well, we're returning everybody from last year. So all of these guys are battle tested. They got to play a lot of minutes last year as juniors. We got a couple kids that have taken the next step to where their abilities are starting to shine through. They're a lot more confident in themselves, and that confidence is hopefully going to lead us to some good things this year.
We talked about this last week with the girls basketball coaches. Basketball is one of these sports that kind of goes, through the season, right? It starts before Christmas, it starts before the end of the year, and then it finishes, early spring, late winter. Conditioning wise, work wise, that breakup in the schedule, how does that affect your preparation?
Well, we've been conditioning since day one at the beginning of the school year, so that way that shouldn't be foreign to them when we get out there. But I mean, we're running 90 feet at a time, and we've got to make it in about 10 seconds up and down the court, and then possession after possession. These kids put in some work, so it's nice that we have some depth so we can get those guys subbed in and out. I'm eager to get out there. So we've been out there since the summer, and now we're going to be a little bit more extended. So days are a little bit longer, so we'll be going until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, just trying to compete.
When does your season actually start game-wise, and what does it look like going forward?
We have our first scrimmage on the 8th, and then this year we're blessed to have the Eagles back on our schedule. We're going to have a scrimmage against them on the Tuesday after that, and then after that we're starting to get rolling with a couple games against some of our local teams around here: Del Rio, Uvalde, Carrizo Springs, and then after that we'll jump into a tournament right after that, and then another tournament after that one, and then we've got a district game, and then we'll have another tournament, and then after that we're running through district all the way through after that.
Full schedule. It sounds like you're ready. Best of luck to you and your squad, Coach, this season. Thank you for joining us here on the Prediction Show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach David Chisholm,
Yes,
Eagle
sir.
Pass High School, welcome to the show. Talk to us about what your program is looking like in terms of veteran leadership on your squad and what you're looking forward to this season.
Well, ours is a little opposite of Coach Biddle there because we graduated 9 seniors last year.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be young, but the kids are hungry. Like he said, we've been working since day one when school started. So we're ready. We got a lot of kids that want to compete. We actually had our tryouts this morning. We have plenty of kids, so we're looking forward to this season.
When we say day one, Coach Biddle alluded to it a little while ago. It's not really day one. You've been conditioning, you've been training. But what happens today that makes the experience for the student athletes different than what's been happening up to this point?
I think the kids know that today it starts for real. It's not during the athletic class. It's after school. It could be late, it could be early. So that's the only difference that we see.
What about your season? When is first game action for you, and what does it look like going forward?
The first day of scrimmage is on the 8th. We go to San Antonio. We're scrimmaging Southwest and Legacy. And then the 11th, we're blessed to have CC Wynn on our schedule, like he said. After that, we go to Harlandale, and then we have 3 tournaments in a row. So after that, district play.
That's something that's unique to basketball. Baseball sees a little bit of this, but all these pre-district tournaments that you take your kids to, that you get them involved in, how does that help you grow for and get ready for district play?
It's going to help us plenty because we don't like I said earlier, we lost 9 seniors, and there were the 5 starters and the bench that would come in. So we're going to have a young team. So all these tournaments should help us. They're going to get plenty of playing time before district play.
And that's got to do a lot with X's and O's, a lot with what your play calling looks like, both offensively and defensively. How long does it take for those kids to get caught up in terms of where to be on the floor and what they need to learn in your system?
Hopefully they learn really quick, right? But no, it's going to take some time because, last year was the first year they made the playoffs in I think 31 years. We had the MVP of the district, which he's not here no longer. So hopefully they learn pretty quick. If not, it could be a long season. But we're going to be okay, though.
Good. I'm sure you will. Coach, thank you so much for joining us and for your time. Best of luck to your squad this season. Coach Chris Biddle from CCUN High School, David Chisholm, boys basketball coaches from both of our schools. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to take a little time here. I'm going to ask Rodney when to come back in because, Rodney, this is what happens when they leave me alone. We had some audio difficulties to start the show, and no one heard my car joke, so I got to say it again. But essentially, you were telling the folks that this is a great time between now and the end of the year to buy a car.
Absolutely. I mean, the last quarter of the year is the big push for the factories as well. I mean, they're trying to move out the last of their inventory before they start delivering, the next year model. So the incentives will increase. Of course, our inventory, we're full, so we want to, move all this inventory off. So yes, now's the time, the best time of the year, honestly, to buy a vehicle. So come and see me and do what we can.
Maybe our sound was off accidentally on purpose because I didn't want my daughter to hear that part, that now is the best time to buy a car. Again, so that people know, Rodney, you've been really instrumental in us putting these shows together. We just want to thank you always for having us here, for your great hospitality here.
My pleasure. It's an honor for me to do it.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Now we'll call both head coaches to come into camera. We're going to talk very, very quickly about the action last week and then move on as we barrel forward now to the end of the season. We'll start here, Coach René Ramirez. Close call there up at Southwest at Dragon Stadium last Friday. You guys made it, a real tough game for the Dragons, and it was a very, very close game that you almost came out on top of.
Yes, sir. We needed the challenge that was in front of us, and our kids rose to the occasion for the most part, correct? There's factors that come out of the game that perhaps we can't control. They executed well. They're a well-coached team. And they were able to pull it out. Our hearts go out to our players. I mean, we couldn't be any prouder of their efforts on Friday night.
2 games left in the season. You got to look forward. You got to, I would imagine, find a way to keep the energy up with the players.
Absolutely.
They can see the end line now. And what do you do here in this next 2 games, not only to finish strong, but to build for something next year?
It starts with myself, obviously. Okay, stay highly motivated, high energetic. Staying positive as best as we can, and then filters to our coaches, and then from there it trickles down to our kids. They're go-getters, they're high competitors. They're very they like to compete at a high level. So it's intrinsic from their aspect as well. So they just love to play. They love the game. So that keeps us motivated and keeps us. It's a two-way street on that aspect. Again, going back to what we mentioned throughout the past couple of weeks, is it's week 10 and everybody's pretty much fighting injuries, fighting pain, things like that, crucial situations. So kind of keep that throughout, limit stuff at practice, and just focus on executing at a high level within the week so that can translate on game night.
I don't see your offensive coordinator
Yeah, prior engagement. So
in the group today. So we'll keep it right here, and I'll ask you about the offensive performance, which again, I think on both sides of the ball was really gritty
yes, sir.
last week. You kept your energy up. You kept playing hard almost to the last whistle. Talk to us about the bright spots there and what your offense is looking at for tomorrow.
As we mentioned, coincidentally, they gave us a similar look to prior to that, to previous week. So our game plan was pretty similar. There were some voids that we felt that we can exploit them offensively, of course, then defensively, and we did. Our kids executed well. Great game planning from the offensive side. Great execution from the kids. Unfortunately, it's a game where we have to limit our mistakes, and they become costly at this point of the season versus any team, especially a good team like that. So again, it's not a question of effort; it's a question of execution. We're never gonna question that. So again, we were proud of their efforts leading up into this week. Southside, we're very familiar foes. So again, they're hard. They play tough. They rotate guys in and out based on personnel packages, which I think it's going to be to our benefit, to where we can kind of wear them out, okay, from every aspect of the game.
And we're going to have on the defensive side of the ball, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Come on in, and we're going to talk to you a little bit, Coach Hoffman, about again, a gritty, tough performance by your defense. Coach Saul Salas told us last week, you knew what's coming at you, right?
Yes,
they're going to run downhill. They're going to punch you in the mouth, and they seem to have a 4, 5, 6-headed monster that could do that. It was difficult to see, who had the ball from play to play, because they were just handing it off to different players every time. But I think your defense held up well, made it a close game.
Yeah, and like I said, thank you first off for having us here. And our kids play with a lot of grit, a lot of effort, and talking to the coaches, all the defensive coaches, we're playing chess sometimes because we need to match personnel with personnel. So if they're in a spread package, well, we got to match with our nickel package, right? And we called the jumbo this week where they're their heavy package, 32, 31 personnel. Well, we got to match that as well. So I think our kids did a great job. We were substituting back and forth. And, at the end of the day, a couple of plays cost us. Big play, obviously, we turned wrong. One of our quarters turned wrong, and obviously we let up a big throw and a couple of missed tackles here or there. But at the end of the day, man, our kids played hard, and our kids did a pretty good job in executing the game plan. But at the end of the day, it always falls down to 2 or 3 plays that obviously led to the outcome that we had.
Looking forward now, Southside's coming in tomorrow. What do they bring in offensively?
So they're a familiar foe, like Coach said. We played them quite often, so we know Coach Locke pretty well. Multiple offense as well. They bring in similar packages with different players. So, for example, they could come in with a 3-receiver look. We call it Fox, tight end. Depending on who they have in personnel, they'll run or pass there. So they're pretty true to formation. We see this personnel in this formation. They got 2 or 3 plays that they could run out of it. Our job's to stop those plays, right? And easier said than done sometimes, but they run about 60% of the time, or 40%. And like I said, they got a good quarterback, aggressive offensive line. Once again, our job is to match personnel. We're going to be playing chess again this week, matching heavy personnel and vice versa with that.
Well, best of luck to you and your squad, Coach.
Thank you.
Real quick, I want to come back here to Rene Ramirez. Some final thoughts from you heading into the game tomorrow.
Just again about our public, it's a Thursday night game. It's been a while. It's 7:00 kickoff. About our public, our Maverick Nation, come on, support our kids as they've been performing at a high level, playing their hearts out. So we extend that. We wish good luck to Eagle Pass Eagles. And hopefully they punch their ticket into the playoffs. Best of luck to our sub-varsity teams playing today. Our JV travels to Southside. Our freshmen are here at home, both 5:00. Safe travels to anyone that may be out there supporting our kids. Want to wish our band good luck this weekend. They're out there working hard as well. They continue to work hard. So on our behalf, wish you nothing but the best and go out there and get it. Thank you to Ancira for hosting us this final time, as they do every year. and we appreciate everything they've done, including Eagle Pass Sports Central.
The home game of the season for you all.
Absolutely, yes,
to
sir.
tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So come on out, support the Mavericks, and yes, Thunder Maverick Band will be at area marching competition this Saturday. We want to wish them well. Thank you, Coach, for your time. We'll have you back for the predictions. I'm going to turn this way now to head coach Roger Olivas. Coach, sometimes the film is what it is. You put that away and you look forward to the job that you've got to do now for the rest of the season, which is, let's get in it. It's a brand new tournament. Once we're in the playoffs, it's right there, still within our reach. What do you tell your players this week?
No, stay focused. We practice with a purpose. Every day we show up. It's trying to get better. At this time of the season, either you're really getting better or you're getting worse. And we want to continue to get better, continue to learn, to continue to execute offensively, defensively. And put our players in positions to be successful.
United South, always a tricky opponent.
Absolutely.
Never want to sleep on them, even though they're not usually what one would consider off the top of your head at the top of that district. They always bring lots of energy to this rivalry. How do you prepare for that on Friday?
No, they do a really good job. They have a really good coaching staff. They're like they said, they're competitive. They're very physical up front. And that gives them a chance anytime they play against anybody. Offensive line, defensive line. They're very physical. If you look at every game they played this year, they're in the game into the third quarter. And a little mistake here, a little mistake there. Kind of puts them in a deep, in a bad situation. But our job is to come out fast. Come out, set the tempo. Hit them in the mouth. And we're at home. We play really good at home. Our boys like to have their backs against the wall, and that's what we told them. They lose, they're out of the picture. They win, they're still in the picture, and we're trying to punch our ticket. So expect a big, hard, tough physical game.
I know coaches always hate distractions. It's homecoming week for you. Always seems to happen at the time. Halloween that night. It always seems to happen at the time of the season when you most need their attention. How do you keep that focus in your program?
Oh my God! I think our offensive line coach told us this morning, Coach, I have a kid running in late. He's doing his makeup. Never heard that one before. They're new. We try to roll with them. We love for our players to be part of this. It's their memories, but we tell them, the focus of ours is the football game. We got to win the football game. It means a lot to all of us, not only to the players, to the coaches, to our community, to everybody in our district. But we encourage them to be part of all that. But at the same time, kind of hold myself to this. But we signed up to play football, and we got to play the football game regardless of all the distractions.
We'll talk to offensive coordinator Chris Garcia. You can stay right there, Coach. We'll pick you up on camera. Let's just zoom in a little bit there. There you go. Coach, we talked about it with head coach Roger Olivas. United South always brings it. You're familiar from having coached down in the Laredo area before with their offense with their defense and what they bring. What are you expecting and how are you preparing for them on Friday?
They're a very good team, very well coached. They're a team that's going to do what they do. They come from the Lopez coaching tree, so you know what you're going to get from them. Very hard-nosed team, very aggressive. And like Coach said, they've been in every game. They fight hard. They're going to come at you, and if you make a mistake, they capitalize on them. So it's our job to come out and execute. That's kind of what we've been preaching to the kids. Execute. Just execute at a high level. Stay in front of the chains. Don't put yourself in bad situations. And I think our kids are ready. Everybody's hungry to punch that ticket. So I know they're fighting for their lives, but we told them so are we.
I know down and distance is something we talk about a lot about during the broadcast when we're in the booth, how it really helps you to have a manageable down and distance from play to play, not put yourself in a big hole. What do you talk to your offense about in terms of that?
So people always look at, even like if you're watching NFL games, they always talk about third down, right? It's an important down, but I always tell them, well, it depends what you did on first and second. We always want to win first and second because we don't want to be predictable on third down. Well, they have to throw it, or stuff like that. So we'll want to be in a manageable third down if we can be, and that's what we do, So we practice a bunch of different scenarios, and the biggest thing is being able to we can run and throw it on that third and short or third and medium. So that's where we want to be.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, Coach. We'll have defense coordinator Ricky Ruiz coming in here. Coach, welcome to the broadcast. Talk to us about what the United South Panthers are bringing in offensively on Friday and what your plan is to beat that.
Yes, sir. United South comes with different formations. This week for us was more lining up to formations and playing back to simple, basic tackling and pursuing the ball. We didn't do that last week. We didn't show up, but this week we're prepared. We're more prepared and ready to play. We're going to line up and play. We're going to keep it simple and play fast defense. That's what we want to do.
At this point in the season, Coach, is what you're talking about. It's important to go back to basics, sometimes back to your fundamentals, right angles, tackling correctly. How's that going to help on Friday against whatever the South is bringing?
We went back to basics. We did a lot of tackling, a lot of lining up in formations, and we're going to keep it simple for our defense. We want to line up and play defense. So if we line up, it's hard to beat us.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck to your squad. Coach Roger Olivas, last home game for you as well on the season. Seems like it went by very quickly, barring any possible home situations in that first round of the playoffs if you all get in. But some final thoughts for you.
It's our last. We have everything combined. We have homecoming. We have Halloween. We have senior walk. We have a lot of things going on. It should be. The weather should be amazing. So football weather. And I invite everybody to come out and join us in all the festivities. And more than anything, watch our game. I also want to wish the Mavericks the best of luck in their game. They've been fighting real hard all year. We've seen a lot of them growing up. They have a young ball club, and they battled every game. So encourage people to come out Thursday night to watch their game as well. But it's everybody's at home. Let's all support one another, and I know our coaches do. So let's, as a community, support both teams.
Well, we will be there on Thursday and Friday night. Eagle Pass Sports Central bringing you the action from here, from Coastal Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium at the SAC. Let's move on now to our picks. We'll ask Athletic Director Eric Villaseñor to come in. And Morris sent me the tallies, but we're going to skip that for today. Let's just say everybody's. My wife asked me if she should do my picks for me. Let's just put it that way. All right, so we'll start here as always with Rene Ramirez, who's on quite a hot streak this season so far. First game here: Flower Bluff versus PSJ North. Coach.
Flower Bluff.
Flower Bluff. Coach Roger Olivas.
Flower Bluff.
Flower Bluff. Coach Eric. Flower Bluff. And I will go with the crowd on that one. Next one, Mission and McAllen, an old school Valley matchup. Coach.
Mission.
Going to go with Mission there. Roger.
I'm going to go McAllen.
Mac High. Coach. Going to go with McAllen as well. And I will also go with McAllen. We'll get Morris's picks once he gets back before the action. Brandeis versus Roosevelt up in San Antonio. Coach.
Brandeis.
Going to go with Brandeis. Roger Olivas.
Brandeis.
Going to go with Brandeis. Coach.
Tommy Galvan and Johnny Hernandez. Brandeis.
How about that?
Yeah.
Now those are some names from the past. I'm going to go with Brandeis as well too. Veterans Memorial versus Harlandale down in the Valley. Coach.
Veterans Memorial.
Coach Roger.
I'll go with Vets.
Veterans Memorial. Coach Eric. And I will stay with the crowd. You all must know something I do not. All right, here's one from your district, Coach. Jay versus Southwest.
It's a tough one. That one's tomorrow night. Yeah, Thursday. We'll go with Southwest.
Well, you faced them both. It's going to go with Southwest. Coach Olivas?
I'm going to go with Jay.
Picking Jay there. Coach is going to go Jay there. And I'm going to go with Jay there as well. All right, on to the college slate. Listen, if your wife has been bothering you about going to the pumpkin patch, going clothes shopping, this is the weekend to do it because there's really no good games. Both Missouri and A&M are open, so go out and do some fun fall stuff with the kids. If you're gonna have a fall wedding, this is a Saturday. My son is prohibited from getting married in the fall. Just so you know, because of college football season. But let's get started here. Vandy versus UT.
Vanderbilt.
Oh, gonna go with the hot hand, Vanderbilt. Coach Ryder?
I'm gonna go with Texas.
Gonna go with UT. Coach, with UT, do we know if Arch is out of concussion protocol yet? Well, I'm gonna go to UT just because I'm mad at Vandy for beating us last week. Next one, Oklahoma at Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Gonna go with the other UT. Coach Ryder.
Tennessee.
Tennessee there, Coach. Tennessee. Wow, we lost our confidence in Oklahoma. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma because I think Coach Venables is coaching for his job in that game. In the Big 12, Cincinnati versus Utah.
Utah.
Utes are having a good season, but so are the Bearcats. Coach,
Utah.
gonna go with Utah. Coach, gonna go with Utah. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati. Here's my chance to catch up. I'm going the other way on all of these. Up in Columbus, Penn State versus Ohio State in the Big 10.
Ohio State.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a clean sweep, Coach.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State University, Coach. Yeah, and we're going to make it all even there. Ohio State. They're on to the pro games now. These are a very good game on Sunday. I think it's one of the noon games. Chiefs up in Buffalo against the Bills.
The Chiefs.
Going with KC, Coach.
I'm going with the Bills.
Going to go with the Bills. Going with the Bills, and my friend Joe Jefferson up in Kansas City who watches the show sometimes. I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. All right, in the final game here, Cardinals versus Cowboys. Cowboys need to get right this week.
Yes, sir. Cowboys.
Going to go with Dallas.
Cowboys.
Going to go with the Cowboys.
Dallas.
And I will go with Dallas as well. We'll get Morris's picks when he comes back. Folks, thank you so much for joining us on the prediction show. We've only got one left in the season. Both of these teams headed to the end of the season. Mavericks will play tomorrow. Here's 7 o'clock kickoff. The Eagles home as well for both of these teams' last home games of the season. Eagle Pass Sports Central will be there covering all of it. Won't you join us? And thank you so much for joining us this time. We'll see you next time.